Today's show is brought to you by two of our favorite organizations, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh and the Allegheny County Library Association. September marks 10 years of their joint program, Love Your Library. It's really a county-wide celebration where your donation during the month of September will be partially matched and helps keep essential services going. So everything from books and materials to facility improvements and programs for all. If you use the library system, show your love and donate now at loveyourlibrary.org. Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, October is a natural fit for Halloween lovers. You can catch a scary movie, sip a cocktail with a gummy eyeball floating on top. And of course, there are a lot of costumed dance parties all over the city, but there are plenty of other fun things to do, even if you aren't in a spooky spirit, from a giant flash tattoo event to a guided tour of Pittsburgh's historic Wall Street, hosted by yours truly. Today, I'm with CityCast Mallory Falk and Sophia Lowe, talking about some of our favorite ways to experience Pittsburgh this month. It's Wednesday, October 1st. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I am with Sophia, I'm with Mallory, and we are in the final days of our membership campaign, and we really need your help to help us reach our goals and hopefully keep this whole daily show situation, our newsletter, all of it going.
Yes, please, please, please support us. We need 17 people to sign up today to keep us on track for our goals. And, membership isn't super expensive at all. It is $10 a month or $100 a year.
It's like a coffee and a half.
If you get like a special fancy fall drink, it's probably $10 once you add in tip. So just think of us as your
That's true.
Pumpkin spice latte for the season.
Yeah, that's really cute. And then once you're a neighbor, you're helping ensure that, we can keep bringing you the local news, diving into weird history and lore about Pittsburgh, and helping you plan ahead for the month, like in today's episode. I know this is such a great service for me as I'm doing the research, and I really hope it helps a lot of people out there too.
Yeah, Sophia, you mentioned so many different things. We really do try to cover it all here on CityCast Pittsburgh: news, events, culture, anything that can help you feel more connected to the city. So if we have done that, if we have helped you get out in Pittsburgh, learn something new about Pittsburgh, please, please, please become a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. Be one of those 17 people that we need to sign up today.
Yes. And I know we're part of a lot of people's daily routines. People listen to us when, you're getting ready for work, washing the dishes, walking the dog.
That is my prime podcast time.
Yeah. When I do my long walks, I'm also listening to podcasts.
See, I listen to most of mine during the shower, which is hilarious to me because one of my very best, but also very platonic friends in the whole world told me that he showers with me, quote, with me every morning. And that is such a weird sentence, but also I'm very grateful. So if any of this applies to you, if you also shower with us,
Megan,
with all of us, we would love your support. Consider becoming a neighbor today.
And don't forget, this week, this campaign only, we are giving away exclusive totes to anyone who signs up. They're super cute. They say neighbors make Pittsburgh. So please join us. That can be something you do in October when you're going out and about doing all the fun stuff. Bring your tote. There are a lot of festivals. Stuff everything you're buying in those totes. They're great.
Yes. So one more time, you can support us today. Get that tote at membership.citycast.fm.
So this is our guide episode. It's an episode we do every single month. We try to let y'all know things you can go do, stuff you can eat and drink, some events to look forward to. So we'll kick it off with some experiences. Like always, y'all, what are you excited to do this month?
I want to get another tattoo. It is the season now that we're out of the summer. No more swimming. I'm wearing long sleeves again, so the sun's not going to hurt my skin.
Sophia, I don't think I knew that you even had tattoos, like a first one, let alone a next one.
Oh, yeah. I have one on my leg. It kind of peeks out when I'm wearing shorts. It's cats. Surprise.
That's the most on-brand thing I've ever heard, Sophia.
Well, I guess I'll look for it in the summer when you're wearing shorts again.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you'll see a new fresh one. I think one thing that's coming up that's always great for tattoos is Ink for Impact. So this is on October 5th at Vellum Fermentation. It's going to be 47 artists. They are all doing flash tattoos. Some of those are posted on Instagram now. Plus there's going to be food, music, artist market, organizations like One Hood and the Auto Body Shop are tabling.
So the Auto Body Shop does great work ensuring people have access to reproductive resources. We've talked to them on the show before. They are a phenomenal organization.
Totally. And One Hood focuses on culture and advocacy. Like they are always out and about in the community. They're equally amazing.
Super great organizations. And then a good chunk of the proceeds for this event actually benefits PAR. So another fantastic resource. It is Pittsburgh Action Against Rape. They do all sorts of things. They have a helpline. They do a lot of trainings. They work really closely with a lot of the bars in the city.
And if you ever have like an incident, they also like will help you and like go with you to any kind of like court proceedings or dealing with police, anything like that. They're just incredible.
Yeah, so if you are thinking about a tattoo, you can find amazing artists all in one place and everything's going to a fantastic cause. But like even if you can't make it to Vellum Fermentation this coming weekend, I highly recommend just scrolling through the Instagram just because it gives you such a great idea of like the tattoo artists in the city and what their designs and styles look like. So you can reach out to them, DM them, book an appointment separately.
Are these flash tattoos going to be like Halloween fall themed, or is this a real grab bag?
It's a little mix of both. Some artists do look like they have like Halloween specific flash sheets. Others have like a variety of designs. I saw one artist, like everything they're doing is like a butterfly.
I mean, I have a foolish question as somebody who has 0 tattoos, but thinks they're beautiful. Are flash tattoos like a thing? Like, are they as good as getting them in a shop and making an appointment?
Well, so you can get flash tattoos at a bunch of different events. I feel like a lot of like flash sheets are maybe like a little bit simpler. There's something that can be done quickly. Like I think the tattoo I have, even though I scheduled like an appointment, it was in someone's studio, was a flash tattoo. It was just like a prepared sheet and a design that was like already made. But yeah, I'm sure the quality at this event is going to be just as good as going into a studio.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like these artists are all like incredible. Maybe it's the like doing it in front of other humans part that makes me a little like weird, which I guess is a strange thing to say considering the job we have, but still.
Well, I get it. Like, especially if it's your first time, I get that maybe you'd want some peace and quiet instead of, being in a giant room with hundreds of other people. But hey.
I have a ton of friends that got their first tattoos at flash tattoo like events. So I don't know. Maybe that is the move.
Maybe. I think it is kind of fun to be doing it with a bunch of other people, too, if that's your thing. One other place I want to check out is the Pittsburgh Tattoo Museum in Shadyside. I did not know we had this, but when I was poking around looking for tattoos, this came up. So you can learn more about tattooing and the history of it, as you might imagine. But then they also have a lot of things like old flash sheets, historical works, stencils. So maybe another place for me to go look for some inspiration, because I did look at a lot of the flash tattoos for Ink for Impact. None of them are screaming at me. I think I want another cat.
They're not screaming yet.
How many cat tattoos can I have before it gets weird?
Is it like the same calculus as when you tip into cat lady, like either number of physical cats in your home or number of cat tattoos on your body?
I don't know. I think having them on your body is a little bit of a deeper commitment.
You think having it as a tattoo is a deeper commitment than feeding an animal for like up to 20 years?
I meant trinkets. I meant cat trinkets.
Anyway, Valerie, what are you up to this month?
So I'm really excited to check out this new spot called Vinegar Syndrome. If you are a cult horror fan, you probably are already familiar with this space. But it is a beloved company that restores and distributes hard-to-find horror films. It's based in Connecticut, but they just opened a location in Pittsburgh, their 4th location. And so I think a lot of local film buffs are really excited about this. This new spot is on the south side on Carson Street and sounds like a really great place to check out old horror films that have kind of developed a cult following but are hard to access.
I feel like Southside is also just a perfect location for this to land too, right? Like it's just like such an eclectic neighborhood anyway. If you're on Carson Street very often, it's like just down from Mike and Tony's Gyro. There've been a bunch of things like kind of along that 1400 block. I feel like it's I hope that I stay a while. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it sounds like there is a lot of local excitement for this spot. We talked to Stacey Fedoroff, friend of the pod. You're going to hear her on the show later this month, who wrote an article for the Pittsburgh Independent about why Vinegar Syndrome coming here is so exciting. You know, she said they primarily take films that were produced between the 60s and the 80s. They remaster them, they rebox them with new artwork. And so it is very cool that there's this physical spot here now where you can go search for treasures. She likened it to collecting vinyl records.
They're similar in that, you know, some of the time if you're going to the storefront, the brick and mortar store on East Carson, and you kind of stumble in there and, you know, see some artwork on a slipcase that draws you in, and then you read the description and you know, give something a shot that you might not have otherwise seen on a thumbnail on a streaming service, something that's more obscure, but also like has context to it with all these extras that they put in the film with the film. And, you know, then you're learning too while you're enjoying a horror movie, you know, that might have lots of practical effects and fun like gore and things like that.
This sounds really cool. It's kind of like Blockbuster energy, but also like, does anybody remember like what was it, VH1 Behind the Music, like the pop-up video? Like that's what I'm picturing.
It's also funny. I feel like in the past, these more like niche film shops would be horrified to be spoken in the same breath as Blockbuster, but now Blockbuster is vintage.
I know, right?
But yeah, Stacey also said this is going to be like, she imagines a really great spot to build community because you can get in conversations with other people in the shop. And so it like transcends just being a space to go shopping.
Yeah, I'm definitely really interested in checking this out. I want to collect more like movies and DVDs and stuff. I do have a PS4 that can play a DVD. But like everything just disappears off of streaming and it's so expensive now. And like even the lowest tier still gives me way too many ads. So I think I just need to get like the physical copies of things.
It's so funny. I used to have like a huge collection of movies and music, and like I got rid of a lot of it. Although funny enough, like the one thing I did not touch like is still intact completely is my horror collection. And I'm so squeamish. I don't like horror movies, but I love old ones because they're not realistic enough to scare me.
The special effects are bad.
Yeah. But I mean, they were innovative in their time, so I can appreciate them for the artistry without being terrified.
I guess I don't know if like 60s era special effects have crossed that line for you or not, Megan, but
no, I think that's the prime season.
Yeah.
I really like from like 1920s silent era to like late 60s, early 70s. They start really like coming into their own at that point, and they get too psychological for me. Like I cannot handle an 80s slasher flick. They scare me to death.
I mean, Megan, if you like silent films, then I also have an event recommendation that I think is perfectly tailored to you and any of our listeners who that's their jam.
Okay.
Because there is something called the Pittsburgh Silent Film Festival that's running right now through October 5th, where they're showing silent films at different theaters and venues all throughout Pittsburgh.
I've heard about this in the past, but I've never actually caught it. I just think like silent films, like, I mean, the acting is so like campy and over the top for our, like the way we think about films in a modern way. But I just think they're like so fascinating. And the music actually, I think is what I love the most. Cause like even our orchestra has been doing this lately where they'll play like even like, I think they did Harry Potter not that long ago. Like they do different kinds of movies and they play the score. So you actually don't hear the dialogue, anything like that. You're just reading subtitles for 2 hours and watching a movie you probably already know by heart, like, but you get to experience like the big booming noise, like the music and the shared space. I think it's so cool.
Okay, then I have an even more tailored recommendation for you because as part of the Silent Film Fest this Saturday, October 4th, they're playing a 1925 silent film called Master of the House. They're playing it at the Frick, and it has live accompaniment by Eric Cook and the Pittsburgh Film Orchestra.
We have a film orchestra?
Yeah, that's new to me too. That's fun. I think, Megan, you should link up with them.
Honestly.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like this event hits all the right notes for you. And this festival in general, it seems like this is a thing they offer annually. So really something cool to check out.
I mean, speaking of all the movies, I did not know about any of that. But there's a Pittsburgh Moving Picture Festival. They're going to be doing a thriller picture show at the Lindsay in Sewickley. I've been in there for like an open house, but I've never seen a film in there. I'm excited to check it out. But they're doing this October 2nd through 5th, and the lineup has a bunch of stuff. But one I wanted to shout out in particular is from Tina Romero. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because it's George Romero's daughter, the guy that invented the zombie genre. It wasn't called zombies at the time, but still, like, he is a Pittsburgh legend because he filmed so much of it here. And now his daughter is like carrying on the legacy. It's so cool.
I just looked up the premise on Wikipedia out of curiosity. This sounds phenomenal. It's called Queens of the Dead. And the premise, again, according to Wikipedia. Oh, she even did an of the Dead
of it all, like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, an homage. And it has it in the, like, inside the queue, there's that, like, twisted kind of zombie hand reaching out, I think, in homage to the...
To Daddy.
To the imagery.
A zombie hand for Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. But this premise, it says the film follows a group of drag queens, club kids, and frenemies who must put aside their personal dramas and use their unique skills to fight the flesh-thirsty undead when a zombie apocalypse breaks out on the night of a giant warehouse party. I am so in.
Fantastic.
Full send. That sounds amazing. And then we have to always shout out Row House too, like the family of theaters, because they have one in Dormont and in Lawrenceville. But they're doing their regular stuff in Lawrenceville. So they've got a Slasher Icons series from October 11th to 16th.
Megan, you will not be at that one.
I will not be at that one. I wish all of yins well who attend. And the House of Horrors, October 17th through 31st, including, I would argue this one's in like Pittsburgh film canon, The Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh. I forget if that was shot or set here. Sophia, you actually watched it for CityCast last year.
Yes, I did watch it. I don't remember Pittsburgh being like that important in it. So I think it was shot here.
She wasn't a character.
Yeah, but like based on Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh, hang on, I'm Googling. Okay, the AI overview, so this could be completely wrong, says that there's a part that takes place in the city's Little Cairo district.
Okay.
So I don't think Pittsburgh is accurate if it, makes an appearance.
Got it. It's part of one of the many horror films that are have something to do with our city.
Thanks to George Romero, who started it all, bringing it full circle.
Truly the Godfather. Yeah. But if you want to check any of those out, we actually did pretty long list of them this time last year. It's on our website. Search for Scary and it should come right up.
Well, and if you're not into horror films, there is another film festival that's happening, Real Q. This is from October 3rd to 11th. It's Pittsburgh's Queer Film Fest. So there are movies in 5 locations around the city. One that looks super fun to me is Lesbian Space Princess. It is an animated movie, and one of the voice actors is Shabana Aziz. I hope I'm saying her name right. But she plays Javadi in The Pit.
Yes.
She's that super young intern, and her mom works at the hospital. So, woo, more Pittsburgh.
Hey there, it's Francesca DeBecco, your Hey Pittsburgh newsletter editor. Here at CityCast Pittsburgh, we are all about helping our listeners and readers be more engaged with what's happening around town because we believe that better neighbors make better cities. Every day, we're bringing you the local stories, conversations, and tips that make you feel more connected to the burg and the people and places that make it feel like home. By becoming a CityCast Pittsburgh neighbor, you are investing in that mission. Your support allows us to keep covering the local issues that matter most and highlight the stories that make this city shine. Plus, CityCast Pittsburgh neighbors get great benefits like ad-free podcast episodes, a weekly email of curated local events created by me, and invites to members-only meetups. Sign up today for $10 a month or $100 a year at membership.citycast.fm. What do you say? Won't you be our neighbor?
Okay, we're back. We're going to talk about food and drinks we should check out in the month of October. But first, we still need some of y'all to join our CityCast Pittsburgh Neighbor Program.
But only 15 people now since we started recording. 2 people have signed up. Yay, woo, woo. Thank you. Woo!
Yes, welcome to our newest neighbors. That includes Lauren W., who said, I really appreciate the mix of great local reporting and more lighthearted episodes, especially the Thursday food-focused episodes and monthly roundup episodes, which...
Lauren, this one's for you.
Yes, dedicated. This one goes out to Lauren. Lauren also said, CityCast is how I stay up to date with everything happening in the city. And that is really our goal. We want to keep you up to date. We want to tell you the fun stuff you can do. We want to tell you about the city council debates that you should be tuning into, like anything and everything. So if you appreciate that service, become a neighbor like Lauren W. right now. Go to membership.citycast.fm.
Also totally howling that Lauren joined, like literally joined as for doing a food section in a monthly guide. Like how perfect. It's like you knew.
Again, you can sign up at membership.citycast.fm. 15 more people. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yes, today. We actually need more than 15, but we're excited about every single one of y'all.
Especially the notes. We love when you give us feedback. We love knowing what you find the most useful here.
Yeah, it actually helps guide our coverage. We want to lean into the stuff that is the most useful to you, the most engaging to you. So tell us what you like and tell us what you'd like to hear.
Yes, your support keeps us going. Like truly, it helps us figure out what we should be talking about. We love it. So keep it coming. Membership.citycast.fm. Let's talk about food and drink recommendations. What are y'all looking forward to this month?
So I have discovered carrot cake lattes are becoming a thing.
That is so hyper specific.
I love them. I've had 3 so far this season.
Okay, well, I want to hear where you're getting your carrot cake lattes, but my favorite's been, well, I guess the only one I've tried is the one at Delaney's in Shadyside, one of my favorite coffee shops, but I also saw one on the menu at Spot of Coffee in East Liberty, and it's also available just this week for Pittsburgh Coffee Week at the Commonplace in Squirrel Hill. I'm going to actually argue that I think it's really weird carrot cake lattes are showing up right now. I think carrot cake spring, like Easter Bunny.
No,
yeah.
Incorrect. I think carrot cake is so spicy and warm and like cozy. I think it's perfect for fall. Also, carrot's a root vegetable. Like now is the time.
Okay. But I am still into this, even if I don't think it's the appropriate season, because I'm like a pumpkin spice meh. I just think it's been overdone and I'm not that interested anymore. But I love carrot cake. And any place that does cream cheese cold foam, absolutely delicious. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Well, for your journey, Sophia, I did try the Commonplace one. It's not super sweet, and I'm non-dairy, so I didn't get the cold foam. I don't know if it was available there. I just automatically say no to like anything like that. But it was quite good, but not sweet. So if you like super sweet lattes, it maybe try a different one.
Okay, I'm not into a super sweet one, so that's okay. I always tell them I need my oat milk, but a little dairy is okay. So please cold foam me up.
Just a teeny bit of poison.
Yes.
It's fine. I am actually going to shout out a coffee thing too, but an unconventional one. So Club Cafe is opening during the day from now on. So it was that venue on the south side there in like Bedford Square on like the low streets of East Carson, called Club Cafe Coffee House. So it's going to be Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. I feel like this is like filling a little bit of the niche of like the folks that like love the 90s culture of Southside, like, you know, R.I.P. Beehive that hasn't been there in a long time. But Club Cafe was gone. Now she's back. And now she's also a coffee house. Like it just feels right for the space.
I also saw they're going to do weekend brunch hours in the future. Like I'm sure as they're getting started, they're figuring out what works still. But I am super excited for that. I love brunch.
I also just love it as a venue. Like it's so small and intimate. Like I saw Lucy Dacus play there ages ago. She was actually just in town for a show at the Benedum, so she's leveled up since then. But like it's like so cool to see like different kinds of artists and be like literally 10 feet away from them. But the struggle was always that like some of these Southside places that are venues like struggle because they're not open during the day and they don't necessarily have a revenue stream. Coffee House sounds amazing. I hope they hire the most talented baristas. I'm so excited for this.
We just did an episode about the proliferation of vape shops, especially I think in neighborhoods like the South Side. And so I'm very excited to see like a longtime venue thriving, expanding capacity, doing more, because these are the spots that I think we all really need to be championing.
Well, it had to die and come back from the dead. So it's
like
Pittsburgh way.
'Tis the season, yeah.
Mallory, what are you up to?
Yeah, I actually have a Halloween-themed rec. We try not to go too Halloween heavy on this episode, but of course it is the reason for the season. But so I'm going to recommend the Halloween cocktails at House of Burton. That's at Mixtape in Garfield. So every year around this time, Mixtape transforms into this kind of immersive Halloween experience where you feel like you've stepped inside Tim Burton's brain.
Is it always Tim Burton or is that just, are we just blessed?
This year is House of Burton 3. So I guess 3 years running they've been doing this. I went last year. It was so fun. The decoration is incredible. And actually, I just have to shout out the folks at Mixtape because it was the only night that my husband and I could get childcare and tickets were sold out. And I sent them a DM saying, like, I'm a Nightmare Before Christmas super fan. My dog is named Zero. Please, is there any way you can scrounge up a ticket for me? And they set aside tickets for us. So
that's really sweet.
I will be forever grateful. It's a really incredible experience. But, you know, because this is the food and drink section, got to give a special shout out to their Halloween Tim Burton themed cocktails. They've got alcoholic and non-alcoholic versions. This year's offerings include a cocktail called Deadly Nightshade that includes an eyeball gummy. And then the one that most caught my eye is the Uncle Fester, which is bourbon maple, smoked maple wood chips, Angostura bitters, and charred marshmallow. And something that I think is also really sweet about this whole thing is that, you know, you can get tickets and go in the nighttime, but there's also daytime family-friendly tickets. And they serve the usual drinks, but also limited edition kid-friendly cocktails.
Is that a mocktail? Can I drink that? I don't really like alcohol. I'll take a kid-friendly cocktail.
Well, that's what I'm very curious to check out with my daughter this year because, like, they have NA cocktails at their nighttime events. So I'm curious what's different about the kid-friendly ones.
Maybe they're just like over the top cute, you know, or like less scary.
I don't know. I think gummy eyeballs are for all ages, but I'll report back. My daughter was like a little too young for this last year, but it is like a wonderland for kids and adults alike. So I'm excited for her to get to experience it and everyone should check out their cocktail menu.
I've never been to their Halloween one, and I was absolutely skeptical about this, but I checked out one of the Christmas like holiday versions of it last year. I'm a true believer now. Like, wow, they really deck out the space. It is incredible. Like, just the amount of decorations, like the staple gun, the hot glue situation must be so intense over there when they're getting ready for these. It was worth every penny of the ticket.
They really go hard on their themes. Mixtape, if you're hearing this, please bring your video game one back. I loved it so much. I did not even make it on the dance floor that night. I got stopped at the front of the door, saw Space Invaders, and just sat there for a solid hour playing.
And because they have games, like that's the other thing. You don't just sit there. Like you can go and like make friends with strangers. You can go with a big group of friends.
You can
like,
win prizes.
Yeah, there are prizes. Yeah, it's a time. I really enjoyed it. And I also went during one of like the kid-friendly slots during the holiday one. There were children everywhere. It was not weird. Like, and it also like they didn't destroy anything. Like they did a very good job of like mitigating disaster as it relates to toddlers, you know? So last up, we've got some fun events to mark your calendar for. Where are y'all going to be in October?
So something that looks really cool on October 4th is the Prison Book Project fundraiser. It's at the Mr. Roboto Project in Bloomfield. I've volunteered with the Prison Book Project before. They're really great. You can sign up for like book packing slots, and they send books to people who are incarcerated. So this fundraiser, they're going to have a book swap, letter writing, tabling, and resources. There's going to be music, raffles, merch, so much stuff. The event runs from 3 to 11, but tickets are required after 7 p.m. If you can't make the event, though, and you still want to pitch in somehow, you could sign up and see when volunteer packing slots open up. Or the White Whale Bookstore in Bloomfield has a shelf where you can buy and donate a book. And I believe Mimics Market, the game shop, also in Bloomfield, has a shelf for like role-playing games, something like that. That is also a pretty common request from people who are tapping into the Prison Book Project. So check that out, too.
That's very cool. I didn't realize you could request something besides a book, so that's nice to know about.
I like that all of these like book project type spaces, like even like our Carnegie libraries, right? Like you can take out more than you think you can. And I like that even on like a small scale, like everybody's getting on board with that, like lending all kinds of things for everybody, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to shout out, this one's a little self-serving. I'm going to shout out something I'm doing on October 11th. You can come take a guided tour with me and a historian and friend of the pod, Mark Hauser. So you've probably heard us talk about him before because he does these like really incredible rooftop skyscraper tours. So this one is a little bit different. It's part of our Go Forth series. talking about 4th Avenue downtown, because they have a ton of really historic skyscrapers, like some of the first in the city. They have really cool architectural histories, all these details, and we talk about them. So we're going to give you a chance to experience all of their like majesty and weird changes. There's a lot of fun stories and weird history.
Yes.
But you can see them all from the ground level. And in future, you'll be able to do it at your own pace. So October 11th, we're going to do like guided tours with everybody. But we're also launching a little app so you can take an audio tour whenever you want to. It's just 2 blocks. It takes about an hour. It's really fun. I've been working on it. I'm excited.
Wow, I'm imagining the level of detail you must get into to take an hour to go 2 blocks. That's very intriguing to me.
And you can skip ahead. There's a ton of photos that you can look at on your phone. You can get like as in depth with it or skip ahead and go as fast as you want to. You can put us on like, a 1.5 speed if you want. But for this guided tour event, tickets are $10. It all goes to charity. It all goes to Mission of Mercy. Nothing's coming to me or Mark.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with Mission of Mercy, they do really great work. Every year they offer 2 days of free like health, dental, vision, hearing care for people who couldn't otherwise afford those services. So it's a great thing to support. And also, I mean, if you listen to CityCast Pittsburgh, you are probably a fan of all the incredible knowledge and information Megan shares on mic every day. So this is a chance to get to experience that up close and in person.
Yes, nerdiness in person. It's so exciting. And Mark is certainly cut from the same cloth. He's been on our show before talking about bad bridges and other things. He is also a font of knowledge. Anyway, we'll keep you posted about the longer tour once that's available. But come hang out with us October 11th.
Yes, highly recommend. I've taken one of Mark's tours. That one was the rooftop tour. But honestly, half the appeal is just, like you said, Megan, all of his stories and all of that. So I'm sure from the ground, it's also going to be fantastic.
Yes.
Something you can do at night on October 11th is check out the Allentown Night Market. This I will absolutely be at this year. There's a huge list of vendors, like more than 100, maybe even 150. I don't know. I did not count. They have like a bunch of, strange and unusual stuff, all the things that you would expect from Allentown. But there are 4 outdoor markets and 1 indoor market. So it really takes over the neighborhood. And I think like Bottle Rocket is doing an after party and all that stuff. So
Whoa.
You could definitely spend hours and hours there. Maybe, hang out until the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, they do these a couple times a year, but I feel like the October one is always like where it's at. The spring one's great too, but like this is their month. This is Allentown's month.
So I've got a couple recommendations for the same day. You can hit up one, then go to the other. This is on October 18th. So first is Avanza Pittsburgh at Trace Brewing. It's a celebration to close out Hispanic Heritage Month, which of course is right now. So there's going to be a DJ, a taco bar from El Sabor, which is an incredible spot in Bloomfield that I love. A dessert station by Panaderia Jasmine, which we've talked about them on the show before. They have incredible pastries. And then there's also going to be winners announced from a Latine mini grant program.
Yeah, that's coming from Ascender, which if you haven't heard from them, they do all kinds of like incubation support and mentorship, educational programming, all kinds of stuff for folks that want to bring an idea to fruition, like in the entrepreneurial sense. I think they have a co-working space too. And actually, I was just scanning their website. We've talked to one of their team members too. Do y'all remember Donald Robinson, who was on the like Where to Run in Pittsburgh episode? He was like so like over the top friendly and funny.
Yes, I think he said he likes running in the winter, and that scared me, but respect for him. So much respect for that.
Yeah. Can y'all imagine the level of energy he probably brings to this if like that's what he also like holds in the tank for running? It's amazing.
Yes, perfect personality fit. So my other recommendation, like after you've checked out this celebration at Trace, is to go to the In Dead by 10. So this is In Bed by 10, the dance party that's like geared toward people
clever.
like me. Yeah. So this is a great dance party that's geared toward, people like me who like to be cuddled up in bed by 10 p.m. but still want to have a good time. They team up every year with Hidden Harbor to hold a legendary Halloween dance party. This one goes later than 10. Prepare to stay up late. It's going to be at This Is Red Church in Munhall, which is a former Slovakian Romanian Catholic church. Feels like the perfect setting for a Halloween dance party. There's going to be a costume contest hosted by none other than Rick Seaback.
Ooh.
And like spread throughout this whole venue, there are 4 DJs, 4 bars, and it covers music from 3 decades. So this is guaranteed to be a great time.
And I actually want to throw out one more for that night, October 18th, if you want another option. WYAP, our local music station, they're public radio. They've been going through the ringer with everything happening with our federal government and the funding situation. But they have their annual Halloween ball. It's the Hellbender Ball. It's going to be at Thunderbird Cafe and Music Hall this year. And one of the fun things about this, like in addition to supporting local music and a local station, is that they also have local musicians who dress up in costume and perform as another band, like a famous one that you might have heard of. So they've got local artists that are going to be dressed up and performing as Radiohead, the Cranberries, Pharrell, David Bowie, the White Stripes. Like, it sounds like it's going to be so much fun.
Too many options, but that is so great. I love being in a city where there's like more than you can reasonably achieve in any one night of partying.
I'll finish up with something that gets us a little closer to Halloween. On October 24th, you can go to the Night of 1,000 Skulls at the Warhol Museum.
Ooh.
So this is a celebration of a new temporary exhibit. It's called Andy Warhol Vanitas. So there are 3 themes in this exhibit: mortality, vanitas, vanity, and temporality. So also very spooky in the season. So besides checking out the art, you can do some screen printing, specifically of skull art. There'll be some tarot readings. I love tarot. There's going to be a DJ playing new wave music, and you can come in costume. They're just asking like no masks, no weapons, or like, you know, fake weapons, that kind of stuff, because it is a museum. And if you're looking for like more Halloween parties, definitely subscribe to our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. You can stay on top of all of them, and also stay tuned for an episode about the best haunts around the city. We will be doing lots more Halloween stuff.
And before we go, I just want to close out with some events where you can catch us, members of the CityCast Pittsburgh team. So, of course, as we already mentioned, Megan is going to be guiding tours downtown on October 11th, benefiting Missions of Mercy. We will be hosting a round like we do every month at the Heinz History Center Trivia Night on October 16th. And this month, the event is spooky themed. So we're going to have some like creepy Pittsburgh questions for you. Definitely coming out to that. And as of today, tickets are available just for CityCast Pittsburgh neighbors to come to our upcoming members-only event at Iron City Distilling. We are doing a tour of the space. There's lots of opportunities to come hang out with us this month because we really, truly are your neighbors. We love being in community with you.
Yeah, and that distilling tour, like, you'll get to do some tastings. You'll get to try some icy products that are not just icy light and icy mango. But it is very exclusive. Like, it's a limited number of tickets we're able to offer. So if you join our membership program immediately, you will be able to sign up for that. Just keep it in mind as you're making your plans.
And again, you can do that at membership.citycast.fm.
That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. Thank you again to our newest neighbors, Clara C. and Sarah N. If you want to join the neighborhood, get all the great perks like ad-free listening and our exclusive tote bag coming to you right away, go to membership.citycast.fm. We want to be your neighbor. We will be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. We'll talk to you soon.
The problem is I don't like raisins, and usually carrot cake has raisins, but actually a carrot cake latte wouldn't.